How to customize the Dawn theme for your Shopify store. Hey everyone and welcome, I hope you're all doing great. In this video I will show you an in-depth guide showing you how to start setting up your Dawn theme. This is going to be the default theme for your Shopify store, yet it's going to be very powerful and you can actually go ahead and turn it into something that's very great with the customization options that it holds. So I'm going to show you exactly what you need to start with, how to set things up, and then you're going to be on your way to design the best site that you could possibly design. Now, I'm not going to touch on two different elements. These are going to be third-party applications which could apply some sort of design or elements that you could add to your Shopify store or Dawn theme. I'm not going to talk about any third-party applications. And also, I'm not going to talk about any codes, so you can't use any codes because this could really take very long. So we're just going to be using the default customize option. Now, if you're starting out, then the Dawn theme should be your current theme that you're using. If not, you can just go ahead and always find it within the theme library. You can just go ahead and scroll down and you should be able to find Dawn theme. Just go ahead and click on it and you'll be able to try it and it's going to open up for you. So once you have your Dawn theme, you basically just want it to start by clicking on Customize. This should open up your Shopify editor, and with the Shopify editor, we can make the magic happen. So by default, it's going to look exactly like this. I mean, unless you're in the future and it looks a little bit different, but this is going to be how it's going to look like for me at least. As the default, and you're going to have this banner image and you have future products and you have the footer and you also have the header and an announcement bar. So this is all going to be within the homepage, and if you want to adjust the homepage, good. If you want to adjust another page, which you can apply everything that we do for this page on another page, simply just click on homepage at the top here. And once you click on homepage, you can access any other page that you have on your store. You can just feel free to search the name of the page and it's going to take you to it, and you're going to be able to apply everything that we do in here to that page as well. But for the time being, we're just going to stick to the homepage and do what we want in here first. So before we start with adding or editing any element within the homepage, let's just go ahead and dive into something that is very important to start with, which is going to be the theme settings. This is going to be where you set up your logo, where you can set up your brand colors, where you can set up your fonts, basically the defaults for your store. You can just go ahead and set them up with the theme settings. Now, to access the theme settings, you just want to go to the left dashboard here, and you should be able to find sections where we are at this point, and then underneath we can see this gear icon, and if you click on that, it's going to be pretty much the theme settings here, starting with logo, and then we also have up until theme style. So starting with logo, we just wanted to click on logo, and this is where you are going to be able to add your logo, and it's actually going to replace the My Store section. So we can just click on select. And then from here, you just want to click on add images and just go in and add your logo. So I have it right here, which is not really our logo, but I'm just going to be using it as an example. So I'm just going to click on done, and it's going to actually replace my store, and it's going to automatically place my logo in here. Now, with that, you can also change the desktop logo width, which is 90 by default, but you can also feel free to amp that up and make it a little bit larger if you would like to. Next, we have also the favicon image, which is going to be the image that shows up at the URL bar. You can see that on the top here. So change that to any image that you want. Just make sure you have it as the proper size, which is 32 by 32 pixels, which is very tiny, but it is going to be a tiny image anyway. Next up, which is very important, which is going to be colors. This is going to be the section where you add your brand colors. So what I mean by that, you can actually see the header here. It has a white background. We have black text, and there's no buttons, so I can't really show you that. But you can also adjust the colors for your buttons and so on. So you can actually see we all have a, for the time being, a white background. And we want to change that to our brand colors, for example. So all of that is going to be within the colors section within the theme settings. So click on colors, and it's going to be divided by schemes. So you can actually go ahead and create multiple different schemes that you could use with any section. For example, the header section could be a scheme, the announcement bar, it could be a completely different scheme, and so on. So we can either adjust a pre-existing scheme that we have. For example, scheme 1, we can just feel free to click on it and adjust it. Let's just go and adjust scheme 5 because it looks ugly. So let's just go to background here, turn it to gray, for example, and then we can also change the text color to it. So let's just go ahead and turn that to black, and then we can just go to solid button background, which is white by default here for this one. And again, we can just go ahead and really make it any color here. I know I just said about the scheme that it looks ugly, and I think I'm just going to make a worse one just to demonstrate this for you. So we can also change the solid button label and more things here as well. Outline button, and there's plenty that you could use to edit your scheme. Or you can just completely create your own scheme from scratch. Just click on add scheme, and you're going to be able to adjust that to your liking. And let's just create a very bizarre one just so we can make things a little bit unique. So I'm just going to make it this neon green background. Now that we created our scheme, nothing is going to change yet. We just want to apply that first to our sections in order for that to take place, which we will get to, but let's just wait for the time being. Next up, we have more things like the font sizes and also the fonts that you want to be using for headings and also for the body text. So these are going to be separate. So just make sure you select the proper font and also scale. So you can just go ahead and click on that and change the font that you want as the header. And then once you're done, you can exit out of here and go to the body section and again just change the proper font for that as well, which I'm not really going to change because I'm not interested in doing so right now. And then we have more things like layout, animations, buttons, and there's plenty that you could use with any of them. For example, when it comes to buttons, you can change the thickness of them, the corner radius, because right now it's more square-ish, but if you want it to be more round, you can just do that and it's going to change as you can see on the live preview. So again, you can just take your time and change all of these elements, which I'm not really going to go through each one of them, which is going to take a lot of time. So I'm just going to leave it to you, but I'm just going to mention one last thing, which is going to be the social media bar. You can just go and click on that and add your social accounts. So you can feel free to add your Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and you name it. There's plenty of different socials that you can add here. And if you're wondering why you would want to do that, because you can feel free later on, once you add it in here, go to the header and actually add the icons for these social networks, and people can just click on them, which is just going to redirect them to your social media. So if you want to do that, good. If not, just continue on through the settings and set them up one by one, or at least the ones that you're actually interested in. And then we also have the app embeds section here, which is not something that we're going to discuss today, but this is going to be where you will find app embeds, which you installed. But let's just go back to sections now and then actually adjust things accordingly. So to edit any element that you have on your store, there are going to be two different ways. Either one, which is going to be clicking on the actual thing within the preview, which is going to open up the settings bar for you. Or you can just go ahead and click on the actual section from the left side here within the header or template or footer. So announcement bar, if you want to adjust that, you just click on announcement bar. And this is going to open up the settings for you, and then you can just go ahead and adjust it accordingly. And also, sometimes you're going to find a drop down to that section. That means it also has an element within it, for example, some text. So for the announcement bar, if we click on the arrow here and collapse it, we're going to be able to find welcome to our store, which we can read over here. So we can just change that by clicking on here and just changing that to, for example, 50% off, which is going to be something great to use the announcement bar for example, if you have discounts and so on. And what's great about the announcement bar is that you can actually go ahead and add a link to that. For example, let's just do click on the link section and let's just do google.com, for example. And it's going to obviously take them there. Or if you just click on the link without adding any URL, you can actually go ahead and link it to a specific collection. which is pretty much, a bundle of, products that you can have on one collection, or select a specific product. So if you have sale on a specific product, just click on products and then select that product. Same goes for pages, blogs, blog posts, and policies. But I'm just going to leave the link empty and move on. Now, if you want to add the different colors to the announcement bar section, you're going to be able to do so by clicking on it, which is going to open up the settings tab for it. And then from here, we just go to color scheme. And then from the color scheme, we just click on scheme 1. And then we just select the scheme that we actually want to apply it to. So let's just go ahead and add this bizarre one that we just created, which is the neon green one. And then this is going to be how you apply color to any other section, really. Just go ahead and open up the settings for it. And then from there, you're going to be able to add the different colors that are applied with our store. So the different schemes. And then we can actually go ahead and set up different things. For example, social media icons to announcement bar. If you want to, you can just go ahead and highlight this, turn it on. It's actually going to show up for you if you added any social media accounts, which I did not. This is why nothing is showing up for me. And we can also do more things like auto rotates announcements. This is going to be for if you have multiple different announcements on one announcement bar. For example, if we just go back, you can actually go ahead and add another one. As the 50% off, we can actually go ahead and add another one. And then people can either scroll between them manually, or we can even make it automatic. So let's just go ahead and change that to, for example, 50% off for a different product, for example, and let's just go like that. Now you can actually see we have arrows to the left and the right, and people can just filter between them. And to add another one, just click on add announcement. But I'm just going to remove this one. It's not really important here. And then we can also go ahead and add more things like custom CSS to it, or anything much like any other section. Moving on, we're just going to be talking about the header. So if you want to adjust any section, including the header, you just want to click on it, or from the left side, it doesn't really make a difference. This is going to open up the settings for you, and then you're going to be able to also set up a menu or navigation bar, which is going to be by default the main menu. Now, if you want to change the main menu to a different menu that you want, for example, right now we have home, catalog, and contact pages on the menu. If you want to add or even, create a new one, you can do so outside of the customization page. So we can just exit out of here. Let's just save first. And we can just safely exit. And once we actually exit, we can just go to online store, go to navigation. And then from navigation, you're going to find the different menu items that we have. So this is the main menu. So let's just click on that. And then we can add a menu item, for example, and let's just name it test, and just add a link to it. It could be an external link, or it could be a link from within the store itself. So it could be for a different product, different page, and so on. So let's just go to collections and homepage. I'm not really sure what I'm going with. And just click on that and we're good to go. And you can also create a drop down menu if you would like, by just dragging any item below another item, and that's going to create a drop down menu. For example, let's just go ahead and drag the catalog underneath contact. So just drag and then drop it underneath contact. Just go to the right a little bit more. You can see the blue dot appears, and then if it disappears, that means it's going to be underneath, and you can actually see it has a drop down. So click on save. Or let's actually go ahead and drag the test one as well. Nope, I just made it a drop down within a drop down. So you don't want to do that. You just want to make sure it's like right over here. There you go. Okay, so click on save. And then just go back to your online store and customize. And this is pretty much how to create your menu. And by the way, we just adjusted a menu. We did not create a new one. If you want to create a whole new one, just click on create menu and add whatever you want with it. So let's just go ahead and get back to customizing. So back to it. If we just go to the header section, we are just going to find the main menu. If you want to change that, just click on replace and you'll be able to do it. And then now we can actually see we have home, contact, and within contact we should be able to see the test page that we created and also the catalog page. Now, desktop menu type is drop down because we have a drop down. So let's just go ahead and keep it as drop down. And then we also have these a sticky header. So whether you actually want it to be on scroll up or always, which is just going to be a sticky one, meaning it's always going to scroll down with you if you want it to be like that. And also we have the option to always reduce logo size, as you can see. Again, with any section, you can feel free to change the color scheme to it by going to color scheme option. Click on that and then just select the color scheme that you want to go with, and it's going to change it for you. And this is going to apply to the menu color scheme, which is going to, let's just select this one. For the time being, it's not really going to affect us much, but I believe it's this drop down section. Yes, it's this drop down section that is going to change. So we can actually go and make it a little bit more unique, just so we can, tell the difference. And then we can also set up more things for the header section here, like plenty of things that we can actually do with the header section. So just go ahead and go through them, see which one is actually going to be better for you, and go with it. So for example, we have the mobile layout here, which you can actually change the logo and the different layouts for your mobile. And for example, if you want to actually view the mobile view, you can always just click on mobile on the top right, which is going to open it up for you. But I'm just going to leave things as they are right now and just go back outside the header now. Now we come to the actual template section and what's within it, which is going to be pretty much the body of our Dawn theme. It's pretty much what people are actually going to be seeing first. So make sure it's going to be great. By default, we're going to have this a banner image. So this banner image is, I recommend that you actually have a banner image as the first thing, which is obviously up to you, but let's just go in and change it. So if you want to adjust the banner image, I'm not sure, let's just actually delete it instead and then add it back, just so you are aware on how to add anything that you want, whether it's an image banner or anything else. So to add any template or any section, and by the way, you can delete all sections, if you have none left, you can really delete them. But if you want to add any section, you just go to template, for example, and click on add section. Once you click on add section, you're going to have plenty of items that you can add. For example, future collection, which is the one that we have at the back, future product. So this is going to highlight a specific product. So if you have a signature product or a product on sale that you really want to highlight, you can actually go ahead and go with a future product. Collection list, which is just going to show off multiple different collections at once. Rich text, which is going to look like this, text with a button. Image with text, which is going to be more like an image to the left or to the right, and then you have some text in there. We have the image banner, which we just had and removed. Slideshows, collage, multi-column, multi-row. There's plenty that you can actually add here. I'm not obviously going to go through them one by one, but I'm just going to go with image banner because I personally like to have the image banner as the first thing people see. So I'm just going to click on image banner to add that, and it's going to always put it at the bottom, at the bottom of the list of items that we have. But I'm just going to go ahead and remove future collection. But if you actually wanted to move it, you can just feel free to do so by dragging it up or down like so. And you're going to be able to move the location for it. But I'm just going to remove the future collection anyway. Now that we have the image banner, we can see we have the background image, we have some text, and we have a few buttons here. So to start adjusting things, you can feel free to click on the arrow right next to image banner, which is going to collapse a menu with the text, which is the header text. We have the body text, and we also have the different buttons. So let's just go in and start with those. So let's just start with the header text. You have two ways to actually adjust it. Either click on image banner text right here, or just go ahead and go to the preview and click on it, and you're going to be able to change it from here and just do whatever you want. So I'm just going to do test text. And then we can also change the heading size to medium or large or small. And then we can just go to the body text and click on it, and we're going to be able to also, again, just change it to your liking. And when it comes to formatting, you're going to be able to make it bold, italics, or even insert a link to it so people can actually click on the words itself. So I'm going to leave it as it is. But when it comes to buttons, you can just go and click on buttons. And we have two different buttons here. So first button label and second button label. So for example, let's say we just want one button. We have two. What do we do in this case? We just want to delete the second button label, and that should just leave us with one button, and we can actually feel free to adjust the name for this. So let's just do buy now, for example, and then we obviously add a link again with it. So we can just do either a collection, a product, or even different pages, but I'm just going to leave it as google.com as an example. This way, once people click on this, it's actually going to take them to google.com, and you can either use the outline button style or just use the default one. And again, if you want to actually adjust the color for this, or even the image in this case, you just click on image banner itself rather than these options. This is going to open up all these different elements that you can adjust. So starting with the first image, which is the background, you just want to click on select, upload your own, and you can just go ahead and use this. This was a free image that Shopify offers, so I'm just going to use that instead, and it should replace the entire thing here for us. And if you want to also add another free, the second image, which should be right here, you can also feel free to do so. And you have more things like the banner height, for example, whether you want it to be small, medium, or even large, and change all different aspects to them. When it comes to the color scheme, again, you're going to have the ability to change it to your liking with the schemes that we set up from the theme settings. And we also have more things like animations and so on. So this is pretty much how to adjust things within the sections and stuff, and how to add your own unique sections. And when it comes to the footer, same thing goes here. If you click on footer, you're going to be able to change the scheme for it. And you're also going to be able to add, for example, social media icons if you did actually add any. And you have more things here as well that you can feel free to add. And we can even add a footer menu if you would like to. And you can actually change that. So all of these things are going to be available to you, and when it comes to adjusting your Dawn theme. So you can always just add more sections. You can add your slideshows here, and you're going to be able to adjust images to them accordingly. And for example, when it comes to slideshows, to add images or slides, you basically just go to slideshow, drop down the menu right here, and just click on add slide, and you can always just keep adding slides. And to adjust each slide, just click on image slide 1, give it a different name, give it a different image at the top here, and just go ahead and set up the subheadings for them, the button labels for them, and also the button links for them. So hopefully this was an in-depth a process that is going to allow you to comprehend how to actually access the different elements that Dawn theme has to offer, and how to always just add sections and edit them accordingly. So you're going to first play around with the theme settings to just make things in short. You just want to set up your logos, you want to set up things like that, and then you just wanted to go back to your sections and then adjust each single element. For example, the header, the announcement bar, the image banner. If you want to add more sections, just go to add section, and so on. So hopefully this video was informative and you found it to be helpful, and thanks for watching.